and welcome back to Dio Gaming. I'm Almost Adam, and today we are taking a little look at Monster Boy, because I wanted to. This is the Nintendo Switch version. I had the PlayStation 4 version as well, but I decided to play it on the Switch because you can play it in handheld mode, so you can do it while you're out and about, which is really good for these kind of games. This is the very start of the game, so literally I've just booted it up, so there's not going to be much in the way of spoilers. This will be the first few minutes, and then I will show you the game when it's all completed, and there will be more spoilers there. Not so much the story, but there isn't much of a story, so maybe don't worry about it. This came out at some point in 2018. I can't remember which month exactly. I probably should have researched that, but I didn't. And there's a tiny dragon. Dude went straight to murder, eh? So, straight up, straight away, like, how pretty is this game? Like, this is all hand-drawn art, just animated, and it just looks beautiful. I haven't been this impressed with the art style of a platformy game since maybe Rayman Legends? Yeah, Rayman Legends was probably the last one I remember being like, ooh, this is something special. And this is something special. The music as well. I was going to wait a little bit to mention that, but you can already hear how good it is. Combat in this game is fairly straightforward. It's very, yeah. You've got that, and then you can crouch and poke them in the ankles if you so wish so, and you can do the little ground pound thing in the human form. That's this game's other angle. There are other forms. Anybody who remembers Dragon's Trap, which is another Monster Boy game, they've got that in this. That is a mechanic from the old Monster Boy games. There are a lot of mechanics from the old Monster Boy games. In fact, that's probably the best way to describe this game. If you played any of the others, you'll be aware of at least some of this, because it's taken what was good about all the old ones, smashed it together, and then added just fucking way more content. Like, one of my favourite Mega Drive games was Wonder Boy Monster World, and this is that, but like so much more. This is your first shop, so at shops or the Rhino Mart you can buy different things that, like, armour-wise, and armour has different perks and different abilities that will help you traverse the terrain differently and do different puzzles, and, you know, there's some backtracking, but that's not a bad thing. I'll get back into that later. So we'll buy these big heavy boots, and now, Yep, we can equip them. So, boom, big heavy boots, which make you walk super fucking slow. Until upgraded, there is an upgrade system. And that now means we can go into what? I should probably let that dude out. We recognise him? You might not. There was a Monster World 4, which was a game that never got released in the West until, I think there's a PS3 version that I own and haven't finished yet. That's your little psychic buddy all the way through that game. And that's some of the story early on, so not too much spoilers because you find this out straight away. Your uncle, for some reason, has gone fucking batshit crazy and is turning everyone into different creatures because reasons. So now when you jump in the water, you sink like a fucking stone, and that's a good thing because it means you can walk along the bottom. You can grab what's in barrels. And the heart system's very similar to Zelda or, again, the old Wonder Boy games. What came first? Was it Zelda or Wonder Boy? I'll have to Google that. A lot of people call this like a Metroidvania style game, but I'm pretty sure Wonder Boy was doing it first. Oh fuck. That did no damage, that just fucks up your screen. Okay, a minor inconvenience. Oh god, look at all the stuff going on in the background. How pretty is that turtle? Bye, turtle. Boing. Ta-da! And yeah, so we've used the heavy boots to traverse the terrain to come back to this chest that we could see earlier, and now we get a shield! And the shield can be used to defend and reflect projectiles. Certain projectiles. In this case, specifically fireballs. Plop. So you collect the coins to get currency to spend on, new weapons and armour, etc. And that is all then upgradable, because you'll find these little gemstones. And they'll, make your weapons and armour better. Boop. So that's your Uncle Naboo, the one that's gone crazy and he's trying to give this child crabs. Do with that what you will. Symbolism. You ever given crabs by your uncle? Don't answer that question. Thanks. Maybe edit that out, Adam. Yeah, that's just to really hammer home that he's not feeling himself. He's causing trouble. And there's your first magic ability. So you're forced to eat these little truffles that are clearly living and don't want to die. But the Pablo Good guy says, like, no, they love it. They're well into it. They want to die. So you're fine with it for the rest of the game. You eat them and then you get new magic abilities, or you get more of said same magic abilities. So if you eat multiple fire truffles, then you'll get the ability to fire more fireballs. But now I keep having to look at the control pad because I'm so not used to playing on a Switch control pad. Also, why did Switch have to try and reinvent the fucking wheel? Like, their A button, so the button on the right side, what would be circle on PlayStation, and what is back on every other control pad is their action button, their activate button, and X, which is the activate action button on every other control pad, like PlayStation, is their version of a back button. Like, why? Why swap those? Of all the things to swap around, why those two things? It makes it vastly... I'm trying to skip between consoles here, and it's a fucking nightmare. There we go, now we can set fire to certain things. You don't use that often. Like, it'll teach you... There's a lot of mechanics in this game, and it takes great pride in teaching you them, and then rarely using them again, unless you're, like, hunting down everything. So you're, like, trying to collect all the chests in the game, 100% it. Then, yeah, pretty much everything pops up again. But chances are, by the time you get back around to doing that specific chest, you've kind of forgotten what you did in the first place. So here it is again, you got an uncle with a drinking problem. He can transform things. Yep, there we go. Giant squid! So he gets sort of a taste for what to expect for the rest of the game. This is not a difficult boss.
A few moments later.
Could you not? Oh, I got sucked off and died. Might want to rephrase that. Can I please? Could you, 1 second, whilst I grab the tentacle? Come after me, tentacle. There we go. Got him. Whew, okay. That's an example of very early boss. Super easy. To be fair, a lot of the early bosses are easy. It isn't until like the 4th or 5th one in, really, they start to challenge you. There is an annoying thing I was going to show you. I didn't get a chance there, where if you die 2 or 3 times, your little brother dragon guy comes in, starts helping you, throwing hearts down and things, and it's like, I didn't want that. Like, sometimes I just figured out the boss, so I was like, hey, I know how to do this now, and then I was getting, like my hand held too much, and I don't know if you can turn that off, but he didn't turn up later on. Whether that's because I didn't die as much or because he just stops on the harder bosses. I hope it's because he just stops on the harder bosses. I talked right over a big important thing happening there. I'm a pig now. So now you start to see one of the game's big mechanics right here, is you can, you get turned into animals. Right now you're stuck as a pig. That will change later on. Again, I said there'd be some minor spoilers. This is the slowest part of the game. I wanted to talk about pacing. Pacing in this game is spot on, apart from at the very beginning. There's like an hour or two where you are trapped as a pig, and the pig is a pig. It is just teaching you how to do like the basic mechanics. So it's teaching you like about the different, you can uncover hidden things using his sniffing ability like that, like I just did with the Switch. I sort of skimmed over that. You can also... He can use magic abilities, like the human. He's the only animal form that can do that. Sometimes it uncovers secrets like this, where you sniff, and it literally just straight up fucking tells you what to do. Not a big fan of that. He does that a little too often. Like, you'll get to a puzzle and be like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'll have to figure this out. So you do the sniffy thing, thinking that's going to be part of the puzzle, and then that just tells you how to do the puzzle. And you're like, oh, I wish I'd not done the sniffy thing now. The puzzles in general in this game, I saw some people complaining online that they were... Fuck off. Squish the rat. It's satisfying when you get that just right. Yeah, so some people complaining online that the puzzles were counterintuitive, and that you just had to try different things until you figured it out. But I never found that to be the issue. Like, some of the ones that I struggled with, but the game had always... You'd always encountered something similar enough before, so that you could figure it out. You knew what to do. There was there's a lot of trial and error, but it's trying things that it's already taught you how to do. So it's not like you ever get into a situation where, how the fuck would I have ever figured that out on my own? Like, there's always ways you could have figured that out on your own. You just have to remember. It's not the kind of game you can walk away from a long time and then come back to, because you'll struggle a little bit. I played this through in one go, and I'm glad I did. Look at its face. Look at its poor fucking face. I never stopped feeling bad about that. Now I can fire 10 fireballs in a go, in a go, in a go, in a row, in a row, in a row. Oh, apart from having some of the best puzzle design in any platformer I've ever played, like I said before, what else is good about it? Well, it's because it's a lot bigger, they've varied up the gameplay a lot more. So, whoop-ah. Nailed it. They've varied up the gameplay a lot more, so there's a lot more sections where there's like, I'm trying to think, they've got a lot of variety in them, like there's horizontal scrolling shooter sections that are really fuck. Get off my face. There's like a whole stealth section, which you think for stealth section in video games are like the bane, right? That'd be bad. It's not bad. It's done really well, and it's not, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't stick around for too long, so it's there, you get through it, it's kind of cool, it's over, you move on. I think, well, there might be more than one section which ends up being stealth in the end, but one of them's really fucking tiny. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. There's other things as well. I'm not going to spoil all of them. Just bear in mind, it's not just this. Also, it's not just this. Like this, I said, is the slowest part of the game. This is where you're stuck as a pig, and it's just trying to get you stuck pig. It's just trying to get you used to like the very, very basics, and then it'll start introducing new animal forms and things. So what I'm going to do now is flick over to my other save where I can show you some more cool stuff. So just a bit of a spoiler warning. If you don't want to see... Holy shit, I've never seen them do that before. Well, that's it. Oh, he's spitting babies at me. Can I... Fireballs, fireball, fireball. Ah, fuck. There we go. Oh, you split them back down into component parts. That's really cool and interesting, and I've died. So like I said, a little bit of a spoiler warning. If you don't want to see what you can do later on in the game, then turn off now. I'm not going to spoil any more of the story. There isn't a lot of story, to be fair. It's there. It moves the plot along, like it moves the game along, but it doesn't, it's just there. It's just there. Ta-da! So I have 100% of this game, so I'm not talking about some of these people that play this game for a couple of hours and then uploads a video saying, this is a definitive review, and even after playing it for this long, I wouldn't say this is a definitive review. This is just my opinion, which I feel like everyone had to specify on YouTube now for fear of being destroyed in the comments section. I have played that for 31 hours 38 minutes, which a lot of people that have played this are going, well, that's a long time, and they might be wanting to mock me. That's fair. That is a long time. Even to 100% in the game, that's a fairly long time. The game's not that long, about 15 hours maybe. But I did this without googling a single fucking thing. Okay, so bear that in mind. I got every chest in this game, every collectible heart, everything you can get without googling anything, because I wanted to do it like you did the old schooly type games, and that was the hardest thing. There was a few times when I was like so tempted because I've been banging my head against a brick wall, and a lot of it was couldn't see the leaves for the trees type moment.
Strike that. Reverse it.
It's like a girlfriend was sat next to me. She was like, "If you try throwing a bomb at it," and I was like, "Why would that even work?" I did it, and it did. I painted myself into a corner mentally with some of the puzzles. So yeah, sometimes it pays to walk away and come back. But let's just jump into this because I'm babbling on now. I'm probably gonna have to edit some of that down. I'm running out of breath. So straight away, you can see I've got like I'm a lion now who can do different things. So you can charge. You can go woo, woo. It couldn't see me through that tent. We've got this guy, because this is a village, this is the first village you get to, okay? So again, not big spoilers. When I was in the sewer before, I was here, and that leads back up to here. So literally, see how I did that? See how I segued? And then you're in this town, and this town has got like this. Look at those windows. Anyone that's played any Monster Boy game will know that's a nod to the other Monster Boy games, because they're the other, Wonder Boy, Monster Boy, Wonderland. Not Wonderland, Monsterland. It's a different franchise entirely. The naming of the game gets a little confusing, even more so when you look at older games. So, there was, I used to play Hudson's Adventure Island on the Game Boy, which was a Monster Boy game, but some licensing thing, and they changed stuff, and that's a whole other thing that I'm not going to get into. Just read a Wikipedia page on that if you give a shit. So you go to like a whole bunch of weapons, and sometimes you get like there, for example, if you put on the full set of armor, then you get like a bonus for wearing a full set of armor. I am wearing the gold armor here, which is like the hard to find. You have to collect all the pieces for the gold armor and then take it to a special blacksmith who does special blacksmithery. And yeah, that's like the best armor in the game. Like, so with a full set on, you do take more damage, but you can just melt bosses and enemies in seconds. Is there New Game Plus? You might be wondering. No, just when you finish the game, you get to go around and finish off everything you've already done. If you want to start a new game, you have to start a new game from scratch, because it would completely break the game if you could, for example, I could be a dragon now. The dragon can fly fucking perpetually, so this would just take out like almost all of the game. Or if you could do this from the get-go, you wouldn't need to play the game at all. So I get why they haven't bothered with a New Game Plus, because it would just be pointless. You wouldn't play it. The speed running would be like, ta-da, done. So here's some of the other transformations I might as well show you. The transformations are on a wheel, so you tap R2 or right trigger, and then you just quickly change between whichever one you doth so wish so. And they have different abilities, like the Tong ability, where you can literally just grapple? I'm going to say grip and repel at the same time. And then you can do stuff like this. So there's puzzles you can do with your Tong. That sounded less perverse in my head. You can like actually use enemies' abilities against them. Like I stole the bomb out of his hand, and then spat it at him. Because I'm just that kind of douche. The teleport rod means you can get to anywhere from anywhere. So there is a map. I forgot to mention that. So here we go. And there's quite a big map. There's a lot of areas to explore. So every area is like a place you can teleport to. And then on top of that, you can leave a teleport location with your little one that you can go back to at any time, as long as you don't use it again. When you reuse it, the old spawn, that goes. So if there's a specific area, or you find something that you want to, like, I don't know, say you need more fireballs for a section and you don't have enough fireballs in your inventory, you can put a little portal down next to it, fuck off back to the village, buy some more, and then go back through the portal to whence you came, and then use the fireballs. This is what I was talking. There is backtracking, because there was a lot to explore. My backtracking took way longer than anyone else's, because every time I got a new ability, I went back everywhere to try and find just like everything I'd missed. And what would have been better doing is waiting until near the end of the game when I had all the abilities and do it in one fell swoop. But that's just not how I play games. So yes, there is backtracking in this game, but it's never a chore, because when you backtrack, you find new areas and new puzzles. So even though you are going back into the same areas, you're not doing the same sections, you're not doing the same shit over and over again. And because of the fast travel system, it's a lot less tedious than in some Metroidvania style games. So that's something to remember. Yes, backtracking, but not bad backtracking. So a little completionist tip. Later on in the game, you will find that you need money. Like that, big bags of money. This is a good section to grind that out, because each one of these penguin dudes drops a fuck ton, or a heart, bastard, drops quite a lot of cash. Yeah, and if you've got on this item, the Princess Bracelet, you can upgrade it so that you get double coins. So just whack that on and then go and kill all of these penguins, because although you don't need money for upgrades so much anymore, you've probably already got all of those by the time you're at this point in the game, you will need to buy, where are they? These things. So these little rainbow drops, you can take them to a place in Lupia Village? It's the village in the clouds anyway. You can take it to a guy there, and then he'll mark on your map chest locations, which makes it so much easier, because some of them you would never find just randomly. You need to know roughly where they are. They still aren't easy to find. There's still a lot of puzzles attached to them and figuring shit out, and, they're all cloaked in mystery. Deflection! My face! So another one of those games that I almost didn't want to finish, because it's just, I've waited so long for a game like this, and it's out, and it's pretty much perfect. Like, if you're a Wonder Boy fan, you couldn't have dreamt of any more. This could have quite easily been a quick cash-in. Like, quite easily, they could have just done what they did with fucking Bubsy, just gone, ha, here's a thing I remember, and just took your nostalgia money. But they didn't. They made an actual, honest-to-God, not just a Monster Boy game, or a Wonder Boy game, but a good one, an actual good one. And I just, massive rounds of applause for that. They deserve so much credit. They made so much effort. I don't know why I couldn't get a physical copy of this in the... Maybe this wasn't as popular in Europe as it was in the rest of the world, which just makes me sad. I am playing this on a physical copy, but it's a North American one, because I was saying the Switch is region-free, which is nice, because they hadn't done that before. I think I already covered that, but I might have got distracted before finishing what I'm saying. That's going to be a running theme with this video, as I get distracted very easily. I have to admit as well, when I first saw this game, I probably didn't get as excited about it as I should have, because I saw the Monster Boy thing and thought, oh, it's going to be like a rip-off or a nod to, a bit like, like how Bloodstained is Castlevania, but it isn't, or Mighty Number 9, for shame, isn't a Mega Man game, because, well, it really isn't, but you know what I mean. Like, they couldn't get the licensing to it, but they wanted to make another one. I thought it was going to be that, but no, this is an honest-to-true Wonder Boy game, just called Monster Boy for reasons. I'm guessing maybe there was other licensing laws involved. I know this game didn't start off its life as a Monster Boy game. It started off as... what was it? Hold on, I've got it written down somewhere. Flying Hamster 2, if you can believe that. This game was going to be called Flying Hamster 2. I don't know what Flying Hamster is, but I'm glad it's not that. So what I was going to say about this game? Not a lot. I didn't want to do like a full covering every little mechanic review, because it'd be boring. I've just give you like a broad strokes, my opinion, and what the game has to offer, and I can't recommend it enough. I want more people to play this game, so I've got more people to talk about with it, and also the more people that buy it, the more likely they are to make another one, and I really want them to keep making these, because that would be ace. That would be ace if they keep making these. Please keep making these. I don't know how long it takes to make these games. I don't know how long this was in development. It was a long time. So I get proof that just because a game has a long development cycle doesn't make it bad. Anthem, You Can Forever. Yeah. One thing this game did make me want was like an actual pixel art Monster Boy game. Just the nostalgia was strong with this one. And if you remember in Dragon's Trap, you could flick between the pixel art style and the hand-drawn art style, which was... I mostly had it on the hand-drawn art style because it just looks amazing like this, but it was nice to flick between them sometimes. It's like a whole old-school Wonder Boy game with the option of both those styles, or just in that style. And literally, as I was talking about how great it would be to have a pixel art Wonder Boy game, one got announced, or one actually just came out. I've just bought it, called Agalos, just out of nowhere. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. Angelos? Whatever. It's not made by, it's not tied to any official capacity, this game. It's just made by someone that's like more than tipping their hat to the series, but it feels like a proper Wonder Boy game, even if it's not. So that's it. That's Monster Boy. One of my most recommended games of this year, even though it came out last year, but I only just got around to playing it, so, don't worry about it. I generally I generally never play games in the right order. Like, I'll play them sort of as and when, and then make videos as and when. And they're old news. They're old news. You know, they're buried under like 100 other videos probably. But I don't care, because I enjoy playing them in whatever order I fucking feel like, and I make videos about whatever I've been playing. And this is one of those things. So, yes, if you like platformers or action games or joy in any way, shape, or form, then I would say you have to play this. Like, you have to play this. Difficulty-wise, it's not a hard game. Like, if you want to just blitz through the story and you don't want to go around spending hours collecting everything like I did, that's fine. It's a fun little jaunt, but it's one we need more of. The whole game just had me smiling from ear to ear constantly throughout playing it, and it probably will you too. You don't just need Wonder Boy nostalgia to like this. Play this game. So, as usual, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.